Am I the asshole for refusing to do free work for my kid's stepfather? I'm an electrician and a union member. My ex and I share custody of our 3 kids. Things are okay now, but the divorce last year was rough. She got remarried in August to a guy after dating for 6 months, let's call him Brad. Here where the issue kinda starts. A few weeks ago Brad was at my daughter's volleyball game, saying stuff about how real tradesmen don't need to be in a union. He said this right in front of me, and I was wearing a shirt with my union logo on it. He works in the trades also, but just does small non-union IT/data network jobs. I stayed calm and didn't bite. He is self-employed, and I know barely makes a profit. My license also allows me to do all of his kind of work at my pay rate. This morning, my ex called me out of the blue. She said a panel at one of Brad's jobs needed some work and asked if I could just swing by to check it out. She said, "You'd only need your tools for a few minutes, just a quick favor. It's not a big deal, and you would be technically working for Brad." So when my ex asked for a quick favor, I told her, I charge everyone the same rate, and per union rules I can't just do a side job, it's gotta be done under my shop. She said, "You're really gonna force this issue with my husband?" I told her, he can just have his own subcontractors or step up and by paying me like everyone else does. Now she's saying I'm being petty and creating tension, claiming that I'm just making a stink 'cause he lives with the kids. I told her that professionalism isn't petty and that I don't give free labor to people who disrespect my trade. So am I the asshole for refusing to do free work for my ex's husband, even though it might make things awkward for my co-parenting relationship? Not the asshole. If he were a real man, he would have called you himself, instead having his wife beg for a favor. If real tradesmen don't need a union, then why is he specifically reaching out to a union tradesman for help? Surely one of his many non-union pros can handle this better and cheaper than you can /s. Not the asshole. This is more of a karma-based situation, and it's hilarious. My next union shirt printed would say, "So good your wife calls me for favors." You're not the asshole, brother. Enjoy that stupidity. Edit. To seal the deal, get them in your kid's size. Yes, I could be that petty. He wishes he was in a union. Not the asshole. Don't jeopardize that for this guy. I wouldn't put it past him to let it slip and try to get you in trouble, if that's a thing. Not the asshole did Brad or your ex plan ahead to when this little job messes you up and leaves you injured or disabled, and since it's off the books of the union, you're fucked? Nope, not the asshole. That's a perfectly reasonable boundary. Especially right after he intentionally, publicly insulted you. Not much of a think-aheader, is he? Am I the asshole for telling my wife that the birthday gift she gave me wasn't actually meant for me? We're a couple in our mid-30s. A typical middle-class household in UK, committed to a frugal lifestyle since beginning, spending wholeheartedly on food, reasonably priced ones, and travel once a year. No kids, our ultimate goal is early retirement. We gift each other on birthdays from our separate bank accounts. Till now, the gifts have always been meant for the receiver, as it should be. Generally, we're against luxury products, but my wife has been wishing for a Dyson hair dryer since around 3 months. 2 months ago, she hesitantly told me about it for the first time. I was mildly against it. I didn't say no, but advised her to wait and think 7-15 days before making the purchase. Whenever we have the urge of buying something unnecessary, we just wait 7-15 days, and the wish is gone. It works most of the times. She didn't mention it again, I forgot it too. Now yesterday was my birthday. She gifted me that same hairdryer. Before making any assumptions, I took a couple of minutes to observe and think why she did that. I opened it, and after a 10 seconds glance, I handed it to her. That was my strategic move to observe her reaction, in order to verify my assumptions. She immediately took it and very excitedly was looking in it, feeling the touch, its smoothness, etc., etc. Then I straightforwardly told her that this gift is not actually for me, right? And this immediately spoiled her mood. She said, "Why would you say that?" After an awkward silence for a minute, she went to the bedroom and acted asleep. Currently, it's morning of December 16th here. The box is still lying on the sofa. She didn't touch it since then. AITA. A couple of imp. Points. I've full hair but very rarely use a hairdryer, maybe 2-3 times a year. I always keep my hair short, approximate 2 inches. Clearly not a fan of such grooming products. The previous hairdryer is working fine. We're originally from India, I use Instagram, so I'm aware that Dyson products are gaining popularity among women. You are not the asshole for being upset that you were given a gift you didn't want / that wasn't really for you. However, honestly your attitude sounds exhausting. Your wife wants something, and has for a while. She had to hesitantly tell you about it. Is she nervous to tell you when she wants to spend money? You didn't say no to her? She is a grown adult with a job, and her own money. The whole, tell her to think about it, thing sounds to me like you are treating her like a child. No one should have to tiptoe around their partner when they want to buy something. Read how you talk about it. I took a couple of minutes to observe, and my strategic move to observe. She's a person, not a lab rat. I think the actual gift she gave you was a clear message that despite your protestations, she didn't actually feel able to buy it for herself. Rather than focus on the hairdryer, look at whether she does ever buy herself things, or whether it's only you who ever treats themselves after the 7-15-day cool-off period. Also, is it both your aims to save now and retire early, or just yours, and she has no choice in the matter? Are you 100% sure she feels like she has an equal say? Not the asshole, but the way you talk about expenses, financial planning, and how you strategically gauged her reaction gives me the impression you're also emotionally very cold. Sounds like your wife feels a lot of guilt for wanting nicer things in general. Do look into why is that, and whether it's warranted at all. This is literally so tacky. You have 2 inches of hair. You can dry that with a fucking towel. Hell, stroll past the radiator, and your hair will be dry. For her next birthday, buy her some beard oil or penis moisturizer. I'm a lesbian woman, it's what men buy for themselves. Not the asshole. You're totally right, she bought it for herself. However, the fact she was already waiting for 3 months to get your blessing to buy the product, and then you asked her to wait again, is ridiculous. You have no kids, just your own expenses which seem to be low. Money is meant to be enjoyed within reason. You're trading minutes of your life for this commodify, so enjoy it while you can. And also, if $300 is what it took to bring joy to my spouse, I'd gladly pay that to see him smile for such a small amount. Like my brother said, who wants to be the richest man in the graveyard? Technically, not the asshole. You are right in thinking that this gift wasn't for you. On the other hand, maybe you guys should set aside a budget for things / experiences that you don't need, but just want. I know the importance of saving money, but you also aren't going to live forever, and there's not much point having money if you won't use it. Am I the asshole for getting my niece to move in with me, then charging her rent? A few months ago, my niece, Charlotte, 20, called me saying she was kicked out after an argument with her mom. She was saying that she was already paying $500 per month, and they were asking her to pay another $300, while not charging her siblings anything. I called her parents to get their side of the story. My brother immediately said to send her back, because his wife didn't mean it when she told Charlotte to get out. After a while, he did confirm what Charlotte said about having to pay, but tried to justify it by saying she could afford it because she was working, and that their car insurance went up because she was in a car accident, so minor that there was no damage to her car, and you had to zoom in to see the scratch on the other car, ignoring the fact that all of their kids had been in accidents, including one of them totaling their car and causing significant damage to 2 others, and then being given a new car 2 weeks later. I told Charlotte that she was welcome to live with me and the girls, so we went back to her parents' house, packed her stuff, got her important documents, returned her car, and took her back to my house. I got her a bank account that's only in her name, loaned her money to buy a newish car, and helped her enroll in community college. She's studying early childhood education, teaches a mommy and me class once a week, and she babysits 2 4 days a week. Before she agreed to move in, I told her she was going to help contribute, but nothing like her parents. She pays me $250 per month in rent. This goes into an account that's only will be saved and invested for her. She has access to the account. She also pays $100 per month for groceries. She gets $50 per month from the school for groceries, so she really only pays $50. I split her car insurance with her, which on her new plan comes out to $170 per month. Her share is $85. I loaned her $4,500 for her car, so she's paying me $150 per month to pay that off. Gas is around $80 per month, but she gets another $50 per month from school, so for now it's $30. Then we talked about how much she makes from her class and babysitting, how many hours per month she needs to work to cover her expenses, and how much she should work so she can have spending money put aside in case she has a bad month. Charlotte still speaks to her siblings and was talking about living with me, paying for herself, and learning how to budget. Now her parents are furious that I convinced her to move out over paying rent when I'm having her do the same thing. Am I the asshole for having her pay rent and other expenses? Paying rent at a cheaper rate with cheaper overheads, cash coming back to her, a loan and learning a life skill in budgeting? You're a godsend. Not the asshole. Her parents are just pissed that you're showing them up. Not the asshole. The rent portion isn't really rent to you. It's going into a savings account for her. That is a huge difference. The other portions for groceries and the car aren't rent expenses either, and it sounds like you're teaching her where each dollar is going. Not the asshole. Unless I'm missing something, I think you're teaching her some really valuable financial literacy. It seems like her parents have a problem with favoritism, and you should let them know that. Not the asshole. Your niece is lucky to have you in her life. But you aren't doing the same thing. You're actually teaching her to be an adult. 100%, not the asshole. It sounds like her parents were depending on that money every month, which, to be honest, is an awful thing to do to your child. Am I the asshole for excluding my friend? I, 28F, just bought a second horse. To be clear, I bought the horse with the intent of showing it, as my first horse is no longer enjoying competing or showing. With that being said, both horses like trail riding and thoroughly enjoy it. Due to me now having 2 horses, I've begun asking friends if they want to come with me on the trails for fun. The rides are nothing serious, and we do easy trails since I myself am not super experienced in trail riding. Pretty much everyone in my friend group has had a turn now, except for Kaylee. Kaylee is 5 feet 9 inches and weighs well over 250 pounds. While my horses are large and could handle the weight, I don't like the idea of them carrying that much for 2-3 hours, even at a walk. Kaylee texted me to ask if she could come with me this Saturday, since she was the only one who hasn't had a turn, and I said no and explained to her the issue. She got angry at me and texted our group chat. I didn't think I was doing anything wrong in looking out for my horse's welfare. However, the backlash I've gotten from our friends has made me question it. Not the asshole. I myself am a larger guy, though it's definitely a lot more vertical than horizontal. Essentially, I'm really bloody tall. I fully accept that there are some activities I either will be substantially hindered in or simply cannot participate in. Mini golf. Sure, I can do it, but it's a pain on my back and I look stupid. Go-karting. Nope. I don't physically fit and actually exceed the height safety limit. Kaylee needs to understand the reality of being that her weight will sometimes impact her life and ability to do certain things, or that sometimes there will need to be special accommodations made for her that might feel embarrassing. Show her, and your friends, this. Riding Policy Sundance Guest Ranch. They top out at 220 pounds for a ranch that deals with this every day. And notice how they try to be kind about it too, saying, okay folks, this is the most difficult part of the business. Our weight restrictions are in place for the health of our horses and are strictly enforced. Hope this helps. I'll preface this by saying I know nothing about horses. But they are your horses, and you can ban whoever you want from riding them for any reason at all. I don't know if 250 pounds is a lot of weight for a horse or not, but not the asshole. There's a formula with horse carrying capacity of 15-20% of its body weight, so go ahead and pick up your horse and see how much it weighs, then multiply by 0.2. So a 1,000 pounds horse will be able to carry 200 pounds safely. You, however, would probably be hospitalized for picking up your horse/s. Considering there are a number of injuries that result in a horse being completely lame and often being put down, I would definitely say not the asshole. Your friend needs to understand that not everything is fat shaming, it's a safety concern. That's like if I gave my 130-pound friend a piggyback ride, and then my 250-pound friend was mad I wouldn't give them one. Friend needs to grow up as well for being petty and immature by taking it to the group chat. And how would she feel if you had to put down your horse because it injured itself badly while carrying her? Not the asshole. Unless one of the horses is heavy and solid, this sounds a lot of weight, even for a gentle meander around a paddock. Sorry, Kaylee, but the horse's welfare is more important than your wishes or sensitivity over your weight.